Last night, around supper time, it started snowing. And it was still snowing when I got up this morning. Now, it wasn't serious snow, but I knew that in all likelihood, there was probably going to have to be a little bit of shoveling done here. And there was. Like I say, nothing serious, just annoying. A few minutes later, I couldn't help but notice the kids having a great time in the snow. Well, Mom and Dad had to shovel the driveway so they could get their car out to go to work. Okay, I'm going to use the helping hands here to hold this up a little bit. I think it'll be easier to get our little part in. Like so. I think I'm probably going to just put a little drop of CA medium in there. Well, this went really good yesterday. Why is it not going good today? There we go. Okay, yeah, just a little drop of CA medium on the plastic and just let it wick its way around. That should be good enough. One of the viewers was suggesting that what I could do is I could use the helping hands to hold the photo etch in place while the CA glue is setting. I think it's a pretty good idea, although right now, for when we're going to be using these fillets, I don't think the helping hands are going to work too good. And as near as I can remember, we will have two sides to be able to glue to at the same time. I've got an idea for gluing these. These might be just a little bit on the small side, and I don't know. Just want to make sure I haven't gone too far out the other side. Now this little, I don't know what you call it. I guess it's supposed to represent part of the wall. We can bend that straight after our CA cures. I don't think I need to put any pressure down on that. Probably take about 5 minutes because this is the CA medium and it doesn't cure real quick. Okay, about 5 minutes has passed here now. And I don't think this is going to pull loose if I try to pry that little piece of photo etch out. So it matches the side of the bulkhead. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Should I go back in a little bit maybe? No, I don't know if I should put a little bit of CA along that joint right there or not. Or am I only going to make matters worse? It's not going anywhere. The only way it's going to move is if I was to accidentally bump it with something. And I guess if I did, I could always straighten it, right? Okay, that's going to take care of this part of step 33. Now these little fillets or gussets or whatever you happen to call them, they're some sort of bracing at any rate. All right, they're going to have to go underneath here. And I think, like I was mentioning, these are just too small. Where's my blue tack thingy here? Okay, I think these are just a little bit too small to hang on to with the alligator clip. But my thinking is that if I first figure out how these are supposed to go. Just let me readjust the camera here so we can move in on this. Okay, we've got our D35s here, and there's supposed to be 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're supposed to be kind of evenly spaced around the underside like this. Now, that was just sort of luck, I guess you might say, that it stood up there all by itself. You know, you can be sure that when I actually go to want to glue it in place, even though there's going to be a tiny little bit of glue somewhere. Now, speaking of glue, I was just wondering if maybe I was to sort of, let's say that that blue tack was a little bit of glue. If I was to dip the corner into the glue and then put it in place, either that or maybe put a little bit of glue where I think I'm supposed to put the fillet, and then reinforce it later after it cures. It, as you noticed, it seems to stand up pretty good there. I guess that's because this is all squared off on the bottom. I know you can't see it, but these small pieces of photo etch are actually quite detailed or quite well made. In other words, the bottom edge would be square, and it would almost stand up all by itself. Anyway, enough poking here, my goodness. Now, I know I do not have the macro lens on right now, so we're not seeing real close, but the only marking, you're going to have to take my word for it, that I can see that would be any kind of a reference as to where we're supposed to put these things is this seam line right here. I suppose we could put one there and then space the others. Could have one out this way and maybe 3 more going around the other way. And then try and do it exactly the same on the other side so it's kind of symmetrical. Not that you can see both sides at the same time anyway. So, you know, it wouldn't be real noticeable if it wasn't exactly right. So I think I will use this seam line as one reference point and go from there. Maybe it should be 2 here and 2 on the other side, because I think there is supposed to be something else going in on the other side that would sort of, when we get to step 34, oh no, excuse me, it's right here. Okay, so we got these 5 going around. No, I think we're going to have to have 3 on this side of the seam line and just 1 on this side here. Anyway, doesn't really matter. These D18s is what I was talking about. Those sort of go in and add more detail to it, but it would be kind of nice to have them where they're supposed to be. So I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking there just has to be something to tell us where to put those fillets. And anyway, I put the macro lens on and I just can't see anything. Can you see something? Okay, I still do not have any glue on this. But you can see the seam line there that I'm setting it down onto, and you can sort of see the seam line where it goes up the side here like this. Now, if I have the 2 lined up, when I place it, it does not appear to radiate out of the center of this round area. So it might be better. I can use the seam line that goes up and down this way as a reference point, but when I place it, it's going to have to, in order to radiate out of the center of this round place, it can't be up against the seam line that runs out this way that we can just barely see. Okay, let's get a little bit of glue on there and see if we can get that to, I mean, if it does it all by itself, it better do it with the glue. Okay, the reason I'm holding it down with a board here like this is I was noticing this little part has a tendency to slide on me now. This is CA medium. Just get a little bit right there in the corner where I'm going to put it. It's going to come out kind of like that. Now, very gently here, if I could just get it in. Doesn't look straight to me. Let me put on my stronger glasses. Should have had them on to start with here. Okay, it appears that the top should go just a little bit to the left. And it won't go. I don't want to break it off. I think maybe my glue is already cured. Now that was fast. It doesn't look too bad. Okay, I'm going to try and place the other three, like one here, and one here, and then one on this side. I'm going to just do that off camera and get it done. Otherwise, as that one viewer said yesterday, I'm not going to finish this. And he might be right. I don't want to break that off. After I sort of spot welded, you might say, those pieces on with the medium, I went around with the CA thin, and I reinforced all the seams. You can see it there. But you know what? I don't think anybody's going to notice that, especially after it's painted, and especially because we're probably going to be viewing it more or less from the top, not the bottom like we are now. And definitely people are not going to be looking at it as close as we are. I have to be careful where I grab this now. It's getting to have some pretty fragile places on it. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead now and do this side probably later on today. But I'm going to call it a day, I guess, as far as this video goes. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.